Jaya Radha Madhava Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Givaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Givaradhari Udanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Udanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Gopijana Vallabha YouTube la Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Bihari Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivardhakacharya Ashtottara Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai All glories to the Samvara Devotees, all glories to Samvara Devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gaura. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya So today we'll be talking on Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 32, Text 11. So, the Sanskrit this way. Adhatam sarva bhutanam Hridapadneshu Kritalayam Sutanubhavam Saranam Rajabhavena Bhamini Adhatam sarva bhutanam Hridapadneshu Kritalayam Sutanubhavam Saranam Rajabhavena Bhamini Atatam sarva bhutanam Hridapadneshu Kritalayam Sutanubhavam Saranam Rajabhavena Bhamini. Synonyms. Anybody wants to repeat?
Okay. Atatam sarva bhutanam Hridapadneshu Kritalayam Sutanubhavam Saranam Rajabhavena Bhamini अथतं सर्वभूतानां हृत्पद्मेषु कृतालय श्रितानुभावं शरणं व्रजभावेन भामि अततं सर्वभूतानां हृतपद्मेषु कृतालयं
व्रजभावेन भावि
अततं सर्वभूतानां हृत्पद्मेषु कृतालयं श्रुतानुभावं शरणं व्रजभावेन भामि
Therefore, Tam, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sarvabhutanam, of all living entities, Kritapadameshu, in the lotus hearts, Kritalayam, residing, Sutanubhavam, whose glory she have heard, Sarvam, onto the shelter, Raja, go, Bhavena, by devotional service, Bhamini, my dear mother. Translation, therefore, my dear mother, by devotional service take direct shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is seated in everyone's heart. I want to repeat.
Therefore, my dear mother, by devotion service, take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is seated in everyone's heart.
So, purport by His Holiness Swami Srila Prabhupada. One can attain direct contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in full Krishna consciousness and revive one's eternal relationship with Him as lover, as Supreme Soul, as son, as friend, or as master. One can re-establish the transcendental divine relationship with the Supreme Lord in so many ways. And in that feeling is true oneness. The oneness of the Mayavadi philosophers and the oneness of the Vaishnava philosophers are different. The Mayavadi and Vaishnava philosophers both want to merge into the Supreme, but the Vaishnavas do not lose their identities. They want to keep their identity of lover, parent, friend, or servant. In the transcendental world, the servant and the master are one. That is the absolute platform, although the relationship is servant and master. Both the servant and the served stand on the same platform. That is oneness. Lord Kapila advised his mother that she did not need any indirect process. She was already situated in the direct process because the Supreme Lord had taken birth as her son. Actually, she did not need any further instruction because she was already in the perfectional stage. Kapil Deva advised her to continue in the same way. He therefore addressed his mother as Ami to indicate that she was already thinking of the Lord as her son. Devotee is advised by Lord Kapila to take directly to devotional service, Krishna consciousness. Because without that consciousness, one cannot become liberated from the clutches of Maya. Narayam namaskritam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam. Astaprayesho Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavad Sevaya Bhagavati Tamashloke Bhakti Bhagavataneshri Om Gyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salayakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sakatam Yena Sundare Swayam Bhagaramaya Dhalati Svapanati Panchakapadrupya Sakapasabhideva Chapatitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Vishwabhalaya Krishna Prasaya Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Krishna Visheshana Prashantanisha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Mukam Kurti Vachanam Nangum Angum Nangayate Yet Kripatam Aham Vande Shri Guru Dinata. So, I'm here by the order of Shamisha Prabhu, wanting me to speak here. And humbly request Shamisha Prabhu, which is Prabhu, and all the Sambhava Vaishnavas, give their blessings, pray for me, so I can really speak what I have prepared for. And if the Lord so chooses, we can share more food. So, a little background. All this has started from the point where devotees request to her son Kapilam to free her from to get relief from entanglement and attachment to material consumption or early life. And this was the context was when she was married to Karnamuni, and Karnamuni had a desire to have the Lord as a son, and they had gone through thousands of years of austerities and finally had the Lord as their son. And then the son had grown up and Karnamuni was going back to the forest for the austerities. And this is where she was feeling the separation, and she was presenting it as if it was a material attachment and requesting for relief from Guru. And because of which Guru dives into a lot of teachings, glorifying devotional service and eliminating the fundamentals of material nature and how to execute devotional service and different aspects through these activities. Finally, the last chapter is talking about detach and stay focused on devotional service. And here in this chapter, is talking of entanglement in fruitive activities. And the first set of verses is talking about the mindset of the Vedis versus the mindset of the Gryhasthas, and clearly showing especially in the fifth verse, talking about Nesanga or Nesakarmana, and how the devotees who follow that process are prashant and peaceful. And he's also further talking about the pravritti marga, pravritti dharma versus nivritti dharma. That is from sense gratification versus engaging oneself in the devotional service of the Lord, for the vision of the Lord, then everything for His mission. So in here, in this verse, is telling his mother that you don't, I mean, he also mentions a couple of other processes where living entities are able to go back to Godhead, but it's still, they have to wait. They have to wait for a long time before they go back home. And here, therefore, he is stressing to his mother that you don't need to take all those paths, you don't need to worry about all this. Just take the devotional service, and by devotional service, take the direct shelter of the Supreme Personality of God, because he did in everyone's heart. Now, when the direct shelter is mentioned, I just wanted to clarify for myself that the direct shelter doesn't mean it's me and directly Krishna. It is understood it's always under the guidance, under the shelter of Guru. And Guru is a transparent via medium. And it is Guru who is actually the shelter of Krishna for us. And without Guru, one cannot engage in devotional service, one cannot make any progress, or one cannot be in contact with Krishna. So, the importance and significance of Guru is not to be minimized or taken lightly, because it's being said, take direction. Second is Mayavada and how Vaishnavas did. So the aspect of oneness. So my understanding of Mayavadi philosophy is basically them saying that everything is an illusion. Everything is an illusion, only God in the form of Brahman exists, and everything that we see around us is an illusion, including Krishna is an illusion. And that's very painful for devotees to hear. And for the devotees, yes, they say they accept this is a illusory world in the sense that it is temporary, because now it is there, now it is not. It manifests, it unmanifests. So there's a temporary aspect, and therefore it is illusion. But the origin and the source of everything that exists is Krishna. Everything comes from God. And he is the goal of all spiritual practices. It should be the goal of all spiritual practices. And Srila Prabhupada several times had said that, Mayavadis, they want to become God, but the process of bhakti is basically making one greater than God. So, just wanted to share a few small pastimes there, trying to understand that. So, when baby Krishna was there, he used to carry Nanda Maharaj's slippers on his head to glorify Nanda Maharaj and to see, basically please the Prabhupada as well, to see them happy for them. So this is one pastime where you can see that he's not thinking again, he's placing his devotee greater than him. And Krishna riding Arjuna's chariot. So one can imagine in a battlefield where a lot of noises are happening, the only way the charioteer can be communicated to by the fighter is by his legs. So he is, if you want him to go right.
What is that? The only way you communicate is by his
legs. He's kicking the chariot, he's kicking the driver to go left or right to indicate where he has to go. And that Krishna is accepting that humble position to serve his devotee because he loves his devotee so much. And that's the importance that Krishna is giving his devotees. And when Bhishma vows to either kill Arjuna or break Krishna's promise, when Krishna had promised, taken an oath that he's not going to fight, he's not going to pick up any arms. And the fight between Bhishma and Arjuna is so fierce that Krishna becomes concerned for Arjuna's life. And finally, he picks up the chariot wheel and goes after Krishna, thus breaking his vow not to pick up any weapons. And that's again Krishna's affection for his devotee, where he wants to honor his devotee and the words of his devotee. And when he says to Arjuna, you tell on my behalf, right? You tell that my devotee shall not perish. He's giving that assurance through his devotee. Because he can compromise his word for sake of his devotee here and there, but his devotee always upkeep. And we also see the Pasama of Bali Maharaj. Just because of Bali Maharaj's surrender and submission to him, he submits to the Bali Maharaj as his doorkeeper. So to such an extent that Lakshmi Mata had to go and request Bali Maharaj to come out only from one door of his palace, because every moment they had to guess where he's coming out, and he couldn't from here and there to attend to him. And it's not impossible or very difficult task for him, but Lakshmi Mata could not see that, and she requested Bali Maharaj to say, keep one consistent. And we also see how Krishna getting Krishna and his king and getting defeated in wrestling matches, how Krishna is carrying the whole boys on his shoulders. There's no need of anger or anything. He's keeping his devotees greater, in a greater position than him. And one can imagine when Krishna is sitting with the Gopa boys having lunch, and the Gopa boys are playing the prank on him. Okay, Krishna, I want Sandesh or Rasgula, please close your eyes. And they put a flower in the small, which is turns out to be bitter. But he's taking on it. There's no not he's enjoying this with his devotees. And as Lord Ram, he's happy to receive the fruits that Shakari had already tasted. Otherwise, people usually don't take what has been tasted by somebody else. So his devotees are that dear to him. And when Narsadev comes, he's coming straight out of the pillar. Just because to keep up the word of Prahlad Maharaj, to keep up the word of Lord Brahma. Otherwise, anytime he comes, he's either at Chandramamshi or Surya Mamshi or some lineage or the sages, or there's always a glorifying line out there. But when he comes as Narsimha, he doesn't care, because one is able to use calling his words are there that if he's in his pillar and he asks, Hiranyaksha, he's there. And to make the words of his Lord, he comes out of the pillar. And so there are several such pastimes where it is very clear that the Lord holds his devotee very high. And therefore, Prabhupada says the process of bhakti is such that the devotee becomes greater than God. Because of his service attitude, of his submission, he wins over the Lord, and the Lord submits to him as well. And that mode of service between the devotee and the Lord is very amazing and very exciting, very nectarian from that aspect. And we see that in different rasas, right? And Shanta rasa, Dasya rasa, Sakya rasa, and Madhurya. And from Lord Chaitanya's teachings, we understand that the philosophy is Achintya Vedanta. That means simultaneously we are one with God. There's an aspect of oneness. And at the same time, we are different. We are different from Him. We are all the same as Him. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also in his commentary glorifies devotional service with what he writes. Since without bhakti, no one can become liberated, you should surrender to the Lord alone. Oh Bhavi, so instead of Bhami, and he says, who think of me, the Supreme Lord, as your son? I have given teachings of bhakti to you, but that is useless since you also advance. So Krishna is sharing here as community to his mother, teachings basically for us. Just as Krishna is sharing with Arjuna, teachings of Bhagavad Gita are meant for us, for our upliftment. And also in Krishna and Bhagavad Gita, in several verses, he clarifies devotional service, the same thing, that yet karoshi, yet asnasi, yet jivoshi, dadasi, yet tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurusu adatmanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer at your way, and whatever austerities you perform, do that asana kunti as an offering to me. And then Mama Bhavat Bhakto Madhyajimam Namastu Mame Vaishasya Satyate Pratignyam Pratignya Priyasmi. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without faith. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Sarvadharma Parityakya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Tom Sarvapapyabhyo Mokshayasi Masasha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just I shall deliver you from all directions to earth. Yoginam Apisarvesham Margatesh Margate Antaratmanam Shraddhavan Vedate Yomam Same Tamomata. And of all yogis, one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders devotional loving service unto me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is highest of all. That is an opinion. So Krishna being the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his opinion is a final. And we see that all this is only possible by the mercy of Guru. And we sing this in our Guru Ashtaka prayers every morning. Yasya prasada bhavat prasada, yasya prasada nagati kutopi, jhaya swamastasya yasya one day Guru Shishya. By the mercy of the spiritual master, one receives the benediction of Krishna. Without the grace of the spiritual master, one cannot make any advancement. Therefore, I should always remember and praise the spiritual master. At least 3 times a day, I shall offer my respectful obeisances under the rosary of my spiritual master. And we see that with such a submission of the spiritual master, great transformations of heart happens. And we have seen the transformations, glorifying examples where Narada had converted hearts like Brigadi Dhananda into a great devotee, and same with Valmiki as well. And we recently heard in the Nityananda trilogy the pastimes of Lord Nityananda and the pastimes of his followers, who were even making wild animals like pythons, tigers as devotees. So the people like me who have consciousness of animals still have hope. The python is sitting and eating. So then we have hope for being in the shelter of Guru. And Srila Prabhupada also going around the globe so many times and teaching to different types of devotees. We heard that too, that how people in Africa, where when Prabhupada goes to a wash, they are taking it out and wearing themselves, and in the classes catching flies and eating them. So he was so kind and merciful, he is giving his associates all types of things. So these are great examples, and certainly from our side, we feel back in our lives too. We can see where we started, where we were before we came in contact with the ocean service, and where we are. There is progress, there is hope, and there is more to show. And I recall one last time one devotee had shared. This is about, I think there was a devotee who was a celebrity earlier, and she had taken to the path of Krishna consciousness. And somehow, after some time, the media found out that she was in the Hare Krishna movement, and they had followed her and published an article in the newspaper saying so and so celebrity now is Hare Krishna, is that, and all. So I don't know the details of what was going on, anything like that. From one letter and then told her, you just give this one lifetime question. You have given many lifetimes for this, for that, for whatever desires you have. But just this one lifetime you give the question. That instruction applies to us also, that we had pursued different things in different lifetimes. And by some great good fortune, we are here. And we just have to focus and give this one lifetime. So, just, but from our side also, we have to understand that when we are receiving all this from the group, there's some to do from our side too. We have something which we need to do also. And there's a story of Lord Buddha. So Lord Buddha was going around giving his audiences association to people in general. And there was this rich person who wanted to call Lord Buddha over to his house. And his mindset was just, okay, I'm going to invite him, he's going to come to my house and I'm going to honor him, and that's going to be good for me. Basically a remedy concept where, okay, my better life will be good. So when Lord Buddha goes to his house, he purposely goes with his begging bowl dirty. And his begging bowl is dirty, it's not clean. And this rich man, he had prepared a very nice kheer and all. And when Lord Buddha puts his bowl forward, he sees that the begging bowl is not clean. And he expresses his concern saying, the begging bowl is not clean. So, and the key is such a nice thing, if I put it into this begging bowl, it will spoil the key. Then Lord Buddha asks him, is your key important or my mercy bowl? Then he says, your mercy is important. What you want to give me is important. So then Lord Buddha says, if you're so concerned about just this key, going into a dirty begging bowl, should you not be concerned about what I am giving you and how you're taking it? Basically, what is your contamination? So that helps that rich person to wake up and he understands his mistake, and going forward, he picks up a different path from very long solution. So we, from our side, we also have to understand that yes, there are things which are not favorable to Krishna consciousness in our mindset and our consciousness, which we have to introspect and regular truths and make our efforts to keep them up. But again, it's our efforts. True renunciation, true giving up only happens again by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So just going into a little bit reflection on the personal life, personal journey. Now, having born in the land of India, we have somehow from growing up, we have been going to temples, hearing some devotional songs, movies. And we have some idea of who God is, who Krishna is, and what Bhakti is. Some idea, but not full clarity, not complete. There's confusion because we haven't at the time, at least from me, I hadn't approached or met a Vaishnava life as well. But somehow we had been engaged in some activities by our parents and gotten some security because of which coming here to a foreign land, we met devotees and said yes, because there are several people who meet devotees every day, but not everybody says yes. And some of it was a good fortune, the prayers of our wishers, which made us say yes, take this step, and we we got to know more and more, and anytime I'm so grateful to Srila Prabhupada and all that he has shared. There's a clear idea. Just within the first few months as a devotee, it was very clear what is the big picture. Who are we, what is the creation, where do we stand, what's the purpose of life. Everything. And with that big picture and with that clarity, and the simpleness of the teachings is something complex. Everything is there so easily understood, like the Guru Maharaj says, Prabhupada has made it like baby food. All the complex Vedic understanding is all made it into baby food. And it's very easy to understand and submerge with that clarity, and very grateful for that worship. And that's a paradigm shift, right? So when we came to the US, it was like Zindagi se kamna hai, Zindagi mein settle hona hai. But after meeting devotees, it is like Bhakti mein settle hona hai. That's a change in paradigm. There's a change in mindset for us. This association of devotees is a very, very wonderful thing. And it is a oasis in this material research. And I'll just share a story which I had carried it in my for since the first time I ever heard it. There's a story of a devotee from South India, from Sri Sampradaya. He was going, I'm sorry, I don't recall the name, but he was going in the forest with his followers, and he meets a hunter. This hunter is really starved, and he begs them for food. And they say, okay, and we'll give you food. And then, of course, they're talking to him, saying what happened, and all that. And he's telling his story. His story is like he has been for a long time not getting any prey or anything to hunt. But that morning, he caught some rabbits, and he caught all of those rabbits, took them home, and put them on the floor, and he was boiling up the water to make the preparations so he can have it. But these rabbits were just going around his feet, near his feet. And just with that act, for this hunter, he felt so compassionate that he decided not to eat, and he let them go free. So, and that's why he was hunting. So when this devotee heard this, he fell unconscious. And then when he came back in consciousness, we asked him what happened. And he said, if a hunter by profession who kills animals can get so much of a compassion that just the rabbits around at his feet, what is the compassion of the Supreme Lord? If we are in this process and somebody says, how much more compassionate is the Supreme Lord, and what he can bestow us with all auspiciousness, everything. So for us, the Lotus feet of the Lord, similar equivalent is this association of devotees. Because somehow when we are in the association of devotees, we hear, we chant, that purification happens. And devotees silently, we don't know, we're not aware they're praying for us. We don't know who's all praying for us. Right from the time when somebody is distributing the book, even if somebody is praying, please let him take the book, let him read this book, let us like when somebody is distributing prasad, everybody is praying, please Krishna, purify his heart, attract him. So throughout in this devotee association, when they come, when we meet, devotees are always praying. We are not aware, but they are praying. That is their compassion, that is their kindness on all the living entities. And in this kind of association, these prayers are what is basically enriching our devotion, helping us overcome our struggles. Otherwise, think of it today, we are nice to the book, and I'm chanting 16 rounds, okay. I thought one mantra was not to be done. And when I introduced to devotees, even one round was like, wow, 108 times I have chanted, okay. That itself was significant. But now by the mercy of devotees and their prayers, we are able to do it. Yeah. And our mentors are praying for us, our guru is praying for us. So they are out of the compassion of the service mode, they are praying for us. And therefore, we have to take this association of devotees seriously. We have to understand that what we have got is a very invaluable gift and not take it for granted. And at the same time, we have to understand also that Krishna likes his devotees praying for others. And we also can pray for others. Now, when we come across in our life, we want to have a Lord's mercy, we can do that. And I take this opportunity to convey my gratitude to all the devotees who have prayed for me, helping me in my spiritual life, and humbly request also to please forgive me for any offenses, knowingly, unknowingly, because I have spoken something wrong, I have done something wrong without having full complete understanding of our devotional services. So therefore, humbly beg for forgiveness, much of the best to pass in the years of the and at least and request, please, your affection of devotees is the nourishment for me in my spiritual life. And if I've said something wrong or not doing anything right, please feel free to correct me. Please feel free to give me feedback so I can get the opportunity to correct myself. But please do not divide me of your affection and kindly continue to pray for me. This is how it is. And with that, I will end the class here and we request for any corrections, any comments that we can give me.
Thank you for the wonderful class. So very nice pastime that you narrated. I never thought then about especially the Buddha story and the story of the hunter. Very nice, very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
I only had one question. Like now you said this, like now, I was also thinking that this world is illusory and temporary. But recently I heard Madhvacharya says world is permanent. The world is not illusory. It is temporary but not illusory. World is real.
Right.
That is one of the 9 points of Madhvacharya. So you cannot say that world is illusory.
Right.
It's temporary but not illusory.
It is temporary, and because of its manifest and unmanifest aspect, it is therefore called as illusory. But it is not an illusion, as Mayavadis say. Because of its temporariness, we say, okay, because it's there and it's not there, and it's not a real thing. It is, from that aspect, it is.
But Madhvacharya says world is real. Material
Material world is real.
Material world is real but temporary.
Our identity in the material world is not.
That is also real.
Okay.
That is also real.
Okay.
But I'm not sure about that, but it says world is real.
Yeah, the material world is real from the aspect of the tangibility piece of things. Yes, it is real, but it doesn't stay eternal. So it disappears, manifests, and
My
manifests.
question is, cannot consider it as illusion. Illusion is which doesn't exist at all, but seems like existing.
Yeah, and it may be just words there, because I have heard several Vaishnavas, including my Guru Maharaj, saying the same thing and saying that because of its temporary nature, it is perceived as illusion. So we can look at it.
But I mean, like after hearing Madhvacharya's statement, I was also previously thinking the same thing. But can we say like that? Like it is temporary temporary only, not illusion.
Yeah, it's a temporary one. Yes, yes. I really agree on that. Not an illusion. It's temporary. Yes.
When one is introduced to bhakti, so what must be the attitude of the one who introduces or prays for one's advancement, who gives the mercy, and what should be the attitude of one who takes that mercy? Because we see a lot many who come, who take the mercy, but then they go away. They are not able to sustain. So what should be the goal goal so that maybe both of them continue advancing?
So I'm trying to repeat your question. So you're saying what should be the mood of the receiver so that this can continue? They continue to receive.
And the mood of the one who
Brings you.
Okay. Okay. So clearly the mood of one who's praying is that Krishna is very kind, and by Guru's very kind, and by their mercy, it will benefit the entity, and therefore offering oneself as an instrument of compassion of Guru and Krishna. So prayer in that mode as an instrument for the benefit of others. And for the one who's receiving it, it is clear. I mean, I would say it takes time for people to understand that one is, you know, in the science from the data world. So there's a kind of aspect which is called as model. So based on the data, we model things to say, okay, for the past few years, this has been a trend. And if we continue that way, what is the trend for the next year? So as devotees who have at least had some time in Krishna consciousness, it's very clear for us that if we had not met devotees, if you can just think of that one aspect, that if we had not met devotees, what would our life have been? It's very clear for us that it would have been very extreme. We would have been just pursuing this agendas, pursuing this desires which have been pursuing for lifetimes, and still not getting any pleasure or the real satisfaction out of it because change and shield, and just getting frustrated and maybe even taking on addictions just like everybody else in the world is doing. So what kind of pathetic state that would have been? Right? Versus now being in this shelter and having this understanding of what is the purpose of life and being engaged and fully getting the support to engage in that. So it's a very contrasting difference. And when we are aware of what we have received and where we have been, if we have not received this mercy, so there comes and as gratitude, okay, I'm very grateful for what I have received. Right? And with this understanding that we are the product of mercy, people have prayed for us, people have given us this knowledge, everything. One automatically becomes humble. So the receiver is in this consciousness that every day is like, I'm grateful for what I have received. Then automatically, as Radhanath Maharaj says, you know, unless one is grateful, one cannot receive more. So they become the favorite, or you can say they receive more and more in that mindset, in that humility, in that humble state. And that continues. So that's my understanding. I hope I answered your question and the proposed. If you want to add something to that, you had something to say. Shambhisha Prabhu, or anything you want to add to that? That's anyone else? Any other questions?
I got with respect to his question, I got a thought probably. Like when we are giving to when we are somebody is receiving, they It is for a new person, we cannot change it, like how we should issue. It's not in our hand. But with respect to when we bring a person to Krishna consciousness, our mood should be like watering the hearts of the devotee. The seed of devotion is already there. Like it's just like some seeds they actually immediately uh, sprout and then immediately give rise to the plant. Some seeds are like coconut seeds, some trees are like bamboo trees. That you see like bamboo seeds. Bamboo seeds like even though the farmer has to water through like about 9 months, no trace of the any growth. But after 9 months, within the span of 10 days, I think it grows 20 feet. So we never know because the roots are going down, but the support is not coming up. So the growth might be there with respect to our perspective because you can't control how they receive. But with respect to our endeavor, we should keep on watering. If the bamboo farmer sees, oh, this is not useless, it's not coming out, then automatically the results won't come. But we should keep our endeavor and pray to Lord's mercy. And by both, when the both come together, then something will happen. Because it's all because of their conditioning also and their sukruti also, how much they have. But from our side, we have to keep the foods on and keep watering them. So as soon as the time is ready, they are immediately sprouts. Like we have seen many devotees whom we think that this person will never become devotee. That person only becomes a very serious devotee. But whom we think that this person will definitely become devotee, that person may not become a serious devotee. So we have seen many cases. So that's why I'm just sharing my.
Yes, right. So we never know how Krishna works. We just have to be offering as an instrument and do. Yes, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So I have a follow-up question. Often when a devotee tries to reach to others, he undergoes a lot of, means there might be some personal tribulations that one might be facing when teaching. I mean, like Bhagavad said, maybe that seed might take some time to grow. So does Krishna take care of those personal tribulations, or we need to endeavor to keep ourselves up to a certain standard or level? To okay, that one is like because not everyone is of the same mood when one takes to Krishna consciousness. So one has to maybe lower the standards or maybe vary his type of teaching. So that time, lot of personal things come in. Like okay, one needs to like adapt to those. So how does one try to take those, and how he may does one take them as a purification, or does one try to pray to Krishna and or try to be in that way?
So the question is, there are people who are receiving it differently and they have their own time factor for growth. So how do we attend to that? Basically, right? So again, as Prabhu said, there are different banana tree or bamboo or everybody has their distinct package, their condition which they come with. But the message of Krishna coming unadulterated from the Guru Parampara is always purifying. So, from our aspect, the standards are not to be lowered. Okay, the standards are standards, they have to be there. Yes, in the pursuit of standards, one can take manageable, sustainable footsteps. Okay. So standard is to chant 16 rounds. On day one, many will not be able to do that. So it starts with, even when you are requested many to chant only 1 month right? And you started from there to 10 mantras and then 1 round and then 4 rounds, 6 rounds, whatever. So the standard is not to be brought down. We have to understand and respect the standard and know that that's where it is. And at the same time, we have to, for ourselves as well as for others who are encouraging, we have to encourage this taking the sustainable steps. And it is sometimes an experiment as well, because what is sustainable, sometimes you get very enthusiastic, you're in class and then suddenly you're jumping to do 8 more rounds and what you're doing, and it may not be sustainable for some people, and some for some it may be. So it's an experiment, but when going through that journey, one don't need to beat oneself up. That okay, I'm going to do it over there, I'm going to do it. No comparison. Everybody's journey is different. It's not bhakti is not a cookie cutter formula. And on this journey, we have Vaishnavas who we can disclose our heart to, our struggle to, and they can guide us. So again, the general thing would be that first focus on the purification process of bhakti, right? And then one can put in and say, okay, let's talk about the standards. So the association of devotees, and in the association of devotees, humbly serving the submissive mindset, please the devotees, is essential. And from there, one can increase how I go for the standards from the rest. And as my Brahmana says, we should not be putting the cart before the horse. Right? So the horse is first. So what gives us the strength? What drives us? We have to focus on that. We have to take strength from that and encourage others also to do the same. We are encouraging to take strength from the processes of bhakti which gives them strength. And then go on to the other things of austerity, sense control, everything else which you want to do. But without the strength, if you try to jump on to other things, then we're gonna crash, and so people are gonna get frustrated, disappointed, and then eventually the process too. So it's very important to understand what is that we like when we come into bhakti. What is that touched our heart, and build upon that as our strength. And then take that strength and engage it in other areas where we need to attend. And this is all possible with the guidance of advanced senior devotees. Again, it's not a cookie cutter formula, so we can't compare ourselves to anybody else. It's our distinction, like Prabhupada says, everybody has to find their own way. So it's upwards. Anything you want to add, Bruce? Anything else?
No, very much appreciated, and I mean the two things that I was thinking is the two things that you mentioned is how much actually Guru is responsible for our progress in Krishna consciousness. How that's a very heavy thing, and second principle is that how one's own consciousness has to be favorable to receive the mercy. Like if the consciousness is filled with so much pride and so much, unnecessary attachments, then even if you receive it, that will be mixed with that, and it will you will not be able to apply without. So that was
I mean, it's a personal responsibility that everyone who comes into the congregation or association of devotees. It's important that one is thinking of their consciousness and how to improve it, that mindset, and that drive is important. Otherwise, we may have a bit of all the other devotees too, the negative aspect, as much as we drop off the positive things. So we should be careful of that. Anything?
HG Shaligram Prabhu ki
Jai.
Great. Thank you, Prabhuji. Danataram.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandath
Mm.